What's up, y'all? It's your boy Lil L, and man, it's a real special one today, man. I mean, this boy is special. I mean, we go all the way back. We talk about, man, when talk about just dreaming of making movies, just writing scripts, doing stuff on PowerPoint back in when we had the trash computers from school and doing stuff on PowerPoint. We talk about, man, talk about, man. Today, I want to introduce y'all to my fans, and from Northwest Indiana. I'm showing y'all, some love from Michigan. I'm showing y'all the origins. I'm giving y'all an exclusive, a tour, from where I'm from. And today, where it all started, we have today a special guest, director Dmyron Guidry of DG Media. Woo!
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I know we already talked, but man, to the fans, how you doing today, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing pretty good, man. I appreciate you for allowing me to be on the podcast today. Yeah, man, I'm doing pretty great. I'm feeling good today, man. Today is a great day, so glad to be here. I'm glad to be a part of it.
Thanks. I'm glad to have you a part of it, man.
For sure.
And I just want to start off for the listeners, because they're gonna be listening to the audio first before the video comes out. To the listeners, this man right here, we go far back. Like, we talking about, like, I remember when I first went to at first, before it was called ACA, it was CAA, Creative Arts Academy. We talk about, we had plays, we has jazz. Woo! We talk about Willy Wonka in 8th grade. We talk about just like cameras and talking about software and playing this and everything, man. Good, the bad, and the ugly. But this man right here, me and him just talk about movie scripts and doing movies and all that stuff, just making stuff on PowerPoint, and to the point to where in like video editing, to the point to where now, like, where we are now, and it was like what Biggie said, it was all a dream.
Yeah, for sure.
And like, Dmyron, I would say, especially when high school, because I know I went to a different high school. He went to Benton Harbor High School. I went to Countryside, and during that time, I felt like that's when both our gifts and our skills started to blossom, because at that time, I was doing like a lot of music videos and doing music and just going through a lot of trial and error, so much trial and error. And then at the point to where it's like, you started to get a buzz, started shooting music videos, started out with, I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if it was a first it was like a Canon camera, but I know it's like a Nikon, whatever. You had like a little red one, I don't know, but you had like a small like point and shoot. And then you graduated to a Panasonic G7, and then you got the Black Magic, and then you had the Sony, the Sony one, like, for graduating your cameras, and now you messing with red cameras and all type of cameras. That we talking foreign languages right now, but from mirrorless to point and shoots to to almost full frame 35 millimeter. And I want to ask you, how, as far as the trial and error to where you are now, like, take us down that road, man.
Like you say, man, it started back in high school. Actually a little bit before then. So I'm gonna go back a little bit to where it actually all started. So I want to say around 13 or 14 years old, right? My dad did a music video with this music group called Trackhead. And the videographer that was in charge of doing the video, right, he stayed with us during the time of his the production phase or whatnot. And so that was about 3 days. But over that time, I was able to see like the behind the scenes of him charging the cameras, transferring the footage, editing, color grading, and all of that stuff. And I literally like was right next to him, sitting on the couch. And now that I think about it, it was kind of weird because like I didn't know this dude, he didn't know me, you know what I'm saying? But I was sitting like right next to him, like we was cousins or brothers or something, just over his shoulder watching him. And from that experience, bro, I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. And so over time, right, I asked my parents for a camera for Christmas. And that's the little red. It was actually an HP. I don't remember the model. But it was a little HP point and shoot camera. And from there, man, it was just literally like trial and error. I would find myself going outside early in the morning, literally all times of the day. I'm just grabbing footage to practice with, practice color grading, trying to figure out different frame rates and ISO and all that stuff. I would find myself literally from the time that I wake up to the time that I go to sleep on YouTube constantly. How to color grade and so, how to do this effect, how to do this, how to do that. And so over time, like you say, it was a lot of trial and error. And so really it was just, it's a lot of practice and self-taught stuff. But again, it's a passion thing too, because like, it's a lot to learn when trying to get into this career field. And if you don't have like the right mentorship or the right drive or the right, you know what I'm saying, go to do that, it can get kind of overwhelming because it is a lot to learn. From lighting to camera settings to lenses to accessories to help you shoot better to rigs to like, it's a lot of stuff that goes into this. And so I felt like what kept me pushing is the passion for it. Like I say, since that music video, it was literally, this is what I want to do. I mean, it wasn't a hesitation. It wasn't like, man, maybe I can make some money off this. Maybe I could do this. Maybe I could do that. It was simply the love of doing film. And when I say doing film, man, it's the fact that you can shoot in 8 different locations or 3 different locations or however many it is, and then bring all of that footage together from multiple different days, multiple different locations, multiple different people to create one narrative story that moves emotions. And so, yeah, that's why I like it, man. And it's definitely still a work in progress there. I definitely still have a long way to go before I reach, my personal goals and where I feel like I should be. But again, like I'm just following my passion, man. It's something I love doing. I literally could do it every day. If all my bills and stuff was paid.
Oh man, what?
What? Yeah, I could do this every day for free. But so yeah.
yeah, man. And like, that one key word you say is like passion. That's that one thing. It's like, because this color grade is messing with me, and it's like, but I know I still got to keep doing it. But it's like I love it, because it's like when it becomes easy, then it's like I want another challenge. It's like you happy to get over that hurdle of doing a color grade and figuring it out, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, now I made these color grade presets pre-made. I'm just putting them on there, maybe tweaking them a little bit. But I see this movie, The Matrix or whatever, or The Great Gatsby, and say, wait a minute, how they get that shade like that? How they get that contrast? And how they get the brightness that way? Then you start to experiment and say, man, I want to see if I can transfer that same grade to what you're doing. And it's like, it's an ongoing battle. It's an ongoing battle, man. And it's like, I remember when, you correct me if I'm wrong with this, but I remember when I started off making Kung Fu movies. And I remember at the high school called Countryside Academy, for the ones that don't know, 9th grade, I made my first ever film. And I remember I made it, shot it, edited, because at first I was just making one film a year, only because I could only film at school. And I had this Canon Power Shot. At that time, I felt like that camera was the best in the world. Even when I had the sun and I had the lens flare, that purple lens flare kept kicking up, but I loved it. And I remember when I edited that movie and I put it on YouTube, and at first I was like, man, I really did it. Like, I used to dream of this. Like, and I'm not gonna lie, I used, at that time, iMovie, because I can only use the school equipment, But I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, I sent you that link on Facebook a long time ago of the movie. And I remember the first words, you was like, hey, that's hard. And you was like, I can't wait. I'm gonna make my own movie. I'm gonna shoot it and everything. All of a sudden, like the next year, poof, seeing Dmyron everywhere. Boom, 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 boom. D Guidry. And I was just like, I remember when he said that to me. And now that man is going around shooting music videos. I see you shot one because I live right where Dmyron used to live at, where his mom lives at. I still stay here, but I remember you guys were shooting, Save My Soul music video. I remember when you would do test grades and put them on Facebook and show like day for night or whatever like that. And it's like at that same time, I was thinking the same thing. Like, man, this man is doing the same stuff I was doing, but showcase it. See, sometimes I would just test it and put it back, and then you would test it and showcase it. And like I really like that about you because of your confidence. At that time, I was one of those people where I don't want to put it out till I get the finished product. But you said, no, I'm gonna let them see my growth. And I really love that, man. I really love that.
For sure. And like you say, yeah, man, that's, well, for one, I thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate the comments. But like you say, man, it's definitely an internal battle because well, for me personally, like I'm kind of a perfectionist, and so when I go out and do, grab test footage and try to practice color grade and all that stuff, I'm trying to perfect my craft to the way that I seen it in my head. And I know I'm not perfect. I'm a human, you know what I'm saying? And so I feel like the reason that I was still able to showcase the test footage that I did and some of the practice that I was doing is not only to showcase my growth, right? But it was also at the same time to show like this is my passion. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just going out and getting this practice footage just to, practice. Not saying that people do that just to do it, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that was sort of my way to push myself to continue to go. You know what I'm saying? Because posting that test footage and seeing, the feedback, even if it's negative sometimes, it shows me like, okay, you have the potential to be able to do it. One, because you just did it and then you showcased it. And then two, whether I was getting negative comments or the positive comments, getting shares and likes and all that stuff, I took the positive comments as, okay, you got support, you can do it. The other people see you can do it, keep going. I took the negative comments as, you can do it. You just posted it, you just showcased it. People see that you can do it, right? But it's still some stuff you need to work on. It's still, things that you need to do to get to the point to where you want to be. And again, like I say, it's a passion type of thing. So I feel like what a lot of people do is they take that negativity or that critique or that criticism that they get from their peers and get from social media and all these other different things. I feel like they take that and then they run with it. You know what I'm saying? If somebody say, yo, the colors is too dark or the contrast is too dark or so-and-so, I feel like a lot of people, when they are first starting out, they take that and they say, oh, I'm not good enough, or, oh, I need to, do this, or I need to do that. When in all actuality, that's just a redirection of the path that you're trying to take, right? So say you want to get this certain look, right? And then you post it and it is a little too dark or it is a little too contrasty. And somebody calls that out, right? Instead of taking it as a negative thing, look at it as, okay, you wanted to get this look. You tried to get that look, but it's some stuff you need to work on to still, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I guess it's really a mindset type of thing. Like, again, it's a passion and mindset type of thing. And like, you got to have the faith to keep pushing. Cause like I say, it gets hard, especially going out and trying to do all this stuff by yourself, trying to learn how to operate a camera, how to expose this, how to set this up, how to, you know what I'm saying? And so, like I say, over time, it gets a little overwhelming, especially trying to do it by yourself and then showcasing that you're doing it by yourself and it's still not to the level that you want it to be. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, yeah, it's definitely a passion and a faith type of thing. And I would just say, keep pushing. Like, even when you feel like it's not good enough, it's still good enough because you did it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the part that I try to get people to understand when I do post the content and stuff that I post. It's not always about whether it's good, whether it's about you know what I'm saying, if it look good, if it's this, if it's that. Sometimes it's simply about the story, the passion that you put in it. That's what people want to see. And I feel like that's why actually I got into video production too, because you get a chance to narrate and to showcase, like you say, a bunch of different passions. So say you come to me for a project, right? And you want to do a music video or a short film. That's your passion. You're bringing your passion to me. So our passions can meet and create something, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's really what it is to me, man.
And I remember when, like, and because all this stuff is coming back to my remembrance. Like, I go back to, memory lane quickly. And I remember when, because at the time when I was doing just like sporadic short films and putting them on YouTube, and I remember I would send them to you and send them to some other people on Facebook, I ain't gonna lie. I even got so many memes on me just for sharing so much and tagging people all in the memes. There's so many memes on me, like, can you just stop tagging me in these posts on Facebook? But I was showcasing and try to get out, but until I heard actually what spamming was. But I remember I would tag you or send it to you, and I remember this one short film I did. I don't know if you remember, but it was called Hayes Park, and that's in Kalamazoo. That's where my mom lives. And I had all my cousins, and for 2 days, I had my Panasonic G7. Before I got a good cinema lens, I just had the kit lens. You can only do so much with the kit lenses,
right?
So only do so much. And I remember when I filmed that, it took 2 days. We was in Hayes Park, and I used all my cousins, and we just did it off improv. I remember I sent it to you, and as you talk about the critiques, because people take critiques, depending on like bad, negative, or bad way. When you critiqued me, because I used to shoot I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I might still do, depending on what it is, but I used to shoot at I think the shutter speed or something. No, that's ISO. So shutter speed, I shot like at 30, 30 frames per second. I used to shoot at 30 frames per second. And I remember when you had seen it, you said, hey, it's good, but it could be more better. But what you shooting your shutter speed on or whatever? And I told you, and you was like, man, crank that up to 60. And I started to see the difference. And I was like, wait a minute. Because, the lower frames per second, the more slower it goes. But the higher, the more fluid and I guess faster of movement. And so after that, I took that. And like for people that's listening, for filmmakers or future filmmakers listening to this, when somebody is doing the same thing as you and sees something and gives you input, be happy that they're giving you input, because if better than them not giving you any input. Because you could have been like, oh, I see that, that shutter speed. Oh no, man, I ain't even gonna say nothing. But no, but you put your input in it. So because at the same time, it's called sharing knowledge, and here on this podcast, it's about dropping gems and having a conversation, because we want to inspire the ones that are in their rooms just taking photos, just taking video, and just like, man, how could I do more with this? And so everybody, just like Dmyron's saying, take the criticism, whether it's good and bad, because you can learn from both. But don't be quick to put towards the negative, push towards the positive of it. And I remember that. And then I'm not even gonna lie, after that, I would how I would shoot my shutter speed and my frames per second and my ISO, it changed a lot. It changed a lot, especially when it came to my slow motion. See, that was something that I didn't really know about, and so that helped a lot.
And so it's crazy that you said that, because that was something that I struggled with as well. And like you say, I would post, certain snips and practice shots of me trying to do slow-mo and different things like that. And no one would ever tell me, I mean, I knew from seeing it, like, it's something else about this slow-mo. It's jittery, And so I took it into my initiative to figure out what was wrong with my slow-mo. But nobody, you know what I'm saying, ever told me like, yo, maybe you should try shooting in 60 and cranking it down 50, you know what I'm saying, 50% or 40% to get back to 24.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something I had to look up and learn myself, right? Which took more time, which made me value it a little bit more. But again, it's a faith type of thing and a passion thing, right? So if you don't got that passion to go out and figure out what's wrong with your footage, what's wrong with this, what's wrong with that, right? It can get overwhelming because if you don't know, you know what I'm saying, you don't really know, or you don't know how to get that information. But yeah, it's funny that you bring that up because Slowmo was something that I struggled with a lot. At first I was just shooting regular 24. And then I cranked it up to like 30, just playing around, you know, testing it out.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, when I slowed it down, my footage was still shaky.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not shaky, but jittery.
Yeah.
And so I eventually looked it up, and if I'm not mistaken, YC Imaging on YouTube, he started off doing YouTube videos and vlogs, music videos,
Mm-hmm.
about the same time that I started out, actually, in a little bit before. But he will post tutorials and different things of how he does, you know what I'm saying, his music videos and different stuff like that. And so I'll watch him just about every day. And so he did create some videos, a tutorial specifically on how to get smooth slow-mo. And that day, I literally, like, right after I got done. No, so actually, while I was watching the video, I had my camera out and changing my settings and stuff as I was watching it, get the exact settings he had. And then I will go out and go practice it. And it worked. So like, and that was a piece of knowledge that I had to figure out myself. And I felt like that's something like YC did he shared it with, you know what I'm saying, other people. And sometimes I know that people don't want to go out and look for that information, or, you know what I'm saying, they want to just be told, which there's nothing really wrong with that. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, if you really want to know how to do something, or you really want to figure out how to do it, you're going to find out how to do it. But even then, it can be a little overwhelming. So sometimes you want to figure out how to do it, but you just like forget it. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes people just need that extra support, or that extra drive, or that extra you know what I'm saying, to give them like, you're not quite there yet, but I see the potential, you can get there. So, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel like I want to offer as well, doing it, being a director and different things like that. And why I agreed to doing this podcast, because I talk to a lot of people, and they a lot of the conversations that I have, they say that they want to start doing videos, they want to start doing content, they want to do photography, but they don't know where to start. They don't know how to do this. They don't know what camera to get. They don't know, you know what I'm saying? And so I always tell them, like, if you're passionate about it, I can definitely help you. And I can give you that advice and all that stuff that you need. Yeah, so I'm actually working on a few programs and a few different communities and stuff that's specifically geared towards content creators, and offering them free knowledge and free resources to take their skills to the next level. So yeah.
Amazing. That's amazing. And
Sure.
another one I want to say too, when the last recent time, which probably like maybe a year and a half ago, yeah, I ain't gonna give them too much because this is more the scientific background scenes of the editing. But I remember I was working on my cousin Anthony K. Kamar music video, and I remember I was going there. I actually had a studio session because I was recording with somebody. It was at LMC in the piano rooms, and it was me, you, and JoJo. And I remember I seen you. I was like, hey man, see you a long time. I gave you a hug and all that stuff. And I was like, hey, I'm working on this video for my cousin. We just got there shooting it, shot it in 4K, all that stuff like that. And I showed just a little bit of edit because at that time I was heavy in Final Cut. And I remember, I was showing you everything, and then you was telling me, I was like, at the time when I was doing, because I had like a low amount of RAM and stuff like that, so I can only use what I could use. But I said pretty soon I'm gonna go back to Adobe, and when I showed you that, you was like, hey, look at the I forgot what's it called, but I know it was something to, what's that called that you said? But I know it's something that you can use to kind of scale down the encoder, the encoder when you scale it down the encoder to scale it down while you edit it, and then you could turn it off when you're about to export. And after that, I was like, oh, okay. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna give you your flowers. A month later, I went back to Adobe and started using the encoder.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, definitely. And like again, I said that was something that I had to learn. Because I was okay. So if you know anything about cameras, right? A lot of the DSLRs and the stuff that people use, they are more so like photography cameras. They have recording capabilities, but they're not made for recording, you know what I'm saying, recording film. And so for a very long time, I was on the Sony A6300. I actually still have that camera. It's a workhorse camera. I don't think I'm ever gonna sell it. But I say all that to say, right, a lot of the DSLR cameras that people use to shoot they compress the footage, right? So we got the little SD cards and the footage is compressed. So it takes a lot of processing power and a lot of just computer power period to actually write through and read that, that file footage or the footage file. Yeah, the footage file. And so I personally had a desktop, you know what I'm saying? And so I felt like the desktop that I had, it had, all the good specs and all that stuff to kill this footage that I'm grabbing. And it didn't, you know what I'm saying? And so that's something else that I had to learn about, you know what I'm saying, my equipment and stuff that I was using to actually edit. But I had to look that up. I had to look up, why is my footage, you know what I'm saying, snappy or laggy, or why it's not playing back how I see everybody else is playing back. And that was a quick trick that I learned. And the crazy part is, right, once you download or once you buy Adobe Suite or the Creative Cloud, Premiere Pro in particular, Media Encoder comes with Premiere Pro because there's a feature in Premiere Pro itself to where when you transport or import your footage that you just shot, it automatically creates proxies, and that's what they call. So what a proxy is, it takes, say you got a 4K file, right? It basically makes a copy of that 4K footage file, and say you want to do it in 1080 or you know what I'm saying, 720 if your computer can't process the 4K footage. So it basically makes a smaller footage, makes a smaller file for you to edit and do all your effects and stuff on. Like you say, or like I told you, you can then go back when you're about to export it and put it back to 4K. And so that little trick, man, it was a lifesaver actually, because it took me, I want to say, anywhere from a very long time. I'm just saying, it took a very long time for me to edit, you know what I'm saying, little simple music videos and stuff like that. And that even trickled down to my personal life. Like I would find myself working on videos all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? And again, it's my passion. I can do that. I love doing it. So it really didn't, you know what I'm saying, mean anything to me. But those times where I had to meet these deadlines because clients paid, or, you know what I'm saying, certain stuff like that, I would have to sit out on family time or going out, or, you know what I'm saying, different stuff like that. And so that little trick, man, it saved me a lot of time. And it saved me a lot of effort in the stuff that I was doing. It just sped up that workflow a little bit. And so I know that it helped me a lot with time, money, different stuff like that. And so when I seen that, you know what I'm saying, that's something else that you were struggling with, I knew that I struggled with it. And if somebody, if one of my videographer friends or somebody would have told me, that would have, you know what I'm saying, changed the game for me. But I had to go out and learn it on my own, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I just feel like helping people and servicing people that are doing the same thing that I'm doing, or that are aspiring to do the same thing that I'm doing, helps a lot in their confidence, in their faith of what they're trying to do. And then like just support, period. Everybody needs support. because it's a battle. It's hard, you know what I'm saying? And so without that support, like I say, it can get hard. And sometimes people just need like, yo, that look nice. You know what I'm saying? Or yo, it could be a tad bit better. It looked nice, but you know what I'm saying? And so I feel like it gives them that extra push to try to go back out and do it again. And do it the way that they, you know what I'm saying, want to do it. So yeah. I definitely appreciate you though for taking that advice and doing what you can with it. Cause like I say, it's just a feeling of being able to help people that's doing the same thing that I'm doing. So that makes me feel good. And the fact that you can remember, you know what I'm saying, remember all this information, it means a lot because like I say, it's hard, you know what I'm saying? And so being that I could give you that information and give you that knowledge and then you run with it and I can see that you took that and made progress with it. It makes me feel good because at one point in time we was in the same boat, you know what I'm saying? And so we both making progress doing what we love. And it just makes me feel good servicing other people to reach their dreams and goals too. So yeah,
man. And like, you know, I want you bringing back a lot of things. Learning on the job, being self-taught, and then at the same time researching. See, this a lot of people don't know because a lot of people they come to us or they used to come to us for, you know, services, and they don't know the behind the scenes and the struggle. You still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Okay. I had a call. I gotta let me put my phone on do not disturb.
All right. Cool. But I remember, you know, like I said, like, you know, a lot of people they come to us or they used to come to us for our services, but they don't understand the behind the scenes aspect of the processing. They want the video right away, but they don't understand you got to edit, or you know, you need time for like breaks in between. You need to eat, you know, and all that stuff. They will video right away, but they don't understand, you know, they say, oh, and at the same time, people might request certain different things. Like, for an example, Des Be Different. When I shot his music video Runner Up, you know, he asked for this as he say, the red eye effect and all that stuff. I didn't even know how to do that, but I said, you know what? I know in my head, I said, well, I know if I go back and look at the tutorial, I can make it work. So I was like, I do it, you know, I do it. Man, don't you know that effect took me like a good 15 minutes just to research it to make sure I got it on time and got it right. But that's the part that a lot of these clients don't understand is that all of this, it takes knowledge and looking up and also, you know, learning on the job. How important, because for me, I'm not gonna lie, like I feel like both of us, we were learning on the job and then we was getting knowledge at the same time. But how important is that, you know, which is learning on the job and which is like with a client with a certain different effect you never did before, a certain different idea, plus just from research, like learning on the job to me is very important, but also being able to go back and do research and then come up with new ideas that you never did before. Like the blaxploitation era, oh my goodness, I got the book on that. Like, you know, a lot of them directors, a lot of them places, they didn't have like what they say, like they didn't have editing or post-production. So a lot of that stuff was off the fly in camera. In camera.
Yeah.
And so how important to you is both, because I feel like you need a bit of all three of learning on the job, researching and trial and error, and also coming up with new different types of ideas, like with practical effects or with, you know, with CGI. So what do you think about that?
So I feel like it's extremely important, man, to get hands-on experience, to get that on the job training or that on the job experience. And I say that because, right, I've been doing freelance for a very long time, so I wore multiple hats. I had to learn how to light a scene. I had to learn how to operate the camera. I had to learn all the settings to the camera. I had to learn, you know what I'm saying, what lights do this, what modifiers do this, what stand should I use. Like, I basically had to learn every single role in being in the production field, I had to learn the gaffer, director of photography, the director, the art designer, the set designer. Like I had to learn all that stuff. And so although I was researching it and watching videos and gaining that knowledge, researching it, right, it's still a little bit different when you actually get on set, because everything is not always going to go exactly how, you know what I'm saying, how it's supposed to go. And I'm gonna say this, I don't think I've ever shot a video that went exactly how I planned it to go. Literally. And I've shot it over 125 videos. So just imagine, you know what I'm saying, you planning out 100 plus videos, or you planning out these videos, you know what I'm saying, you taking your time, you taking 2, 3, 4 hours to plan out this video, or to plan out this production or movie or film or whatever it is you're doing, right? And then you actually get on set and the light that you thought you had isn't charged, or a few batteries is, you know what I'm saying, broke, or, you know what I'm saying, something usually always happens to where you got to adjust on the fly. And so I feel like that's where that hands-on experience comes in, because you now have like that hands-on experience to know what to do in those in the moment situations. You can look it up all day, but until it actually happens to you, you don't really know how to handle that. And then as far as taking that hands-on experience, taking the research and the knowledge that you look up and trying to find a new way to do it, what I call that, man, is inspiration. I call that motivation and inspiration. Like, I still to this day use Vimeo, use YouTube, Instagram, and I find my favorite shooters, my favorite directors, my favorite color, you know what I'm saying, colorists and editors and all that stuff. And I look and I be like, okay, this is what he working on. This is how he do this. This is how he do that. This is how so and so, so and so. And like you say, it goes back to where I say I find a movie like The Matrix or something. I like that color grade. If I didn't look up or didn't find that inspiration, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't know how to go about, you know what I'm saying, finding that color grade or whatever. So what I say about, and a lot of people think when you do that, or when you find inspiration, or when you reference other people's projects, it's copycatting. It's not. You know what I'm saying? It's not at all.
No.
Because it's a reason why these people put this content out. They put it out for you to get inspiration, for it to inspire you, for it to move your emotions, for it to do all these certain things, right? And it's literally up to you on what you want to do with it. Some people will watch a film, right? And it make them angry, it make them sad, it make them want to go do this, it make them want to go do that. And 3 different other people could watch that same film and get totally different emotions out of it, get totally different messages, get totally different, you know what I'm saying? And so being able to watch a film or watch a project or watch something that somebody produced, and it makes you feel a certain way, and then it gives you that inspiration to go out and go try it yourself. I feel like that it gives it, although you are getting the idea from somebody else, you still putting your own spin to it. You still putting your own emotion, your own passion into it. Even if you do it exactly the way they did it, you know what I'm saying? It's still going to be different in some way. One, because y'all both different people. Y'all have 2 totally different perspectives. But then again, the way that, or the emotions that they felt when they were creating the film or the content or whatever it is they were creating could be totally different from what you felt when you watched it. You know what I'm saying? And so being able to recreate that with your emotions attached to it will reach a totally different audience than what the original film did. So I say it's nothing wrong with copycatting or finding inspiration in other people's projects, because that's what I do. That's what I did. And I still do it to this day, literally. So yeah, like there's nothing wrong with taking that inspiration. And then it's all full circle. So you take that inspiration and you take that knowledge that you just researched, and then you go do the hands-on experience, or go do the hands-on, you know what I'm saying, in practice. So that teaches you how to be able to adjust and how to be able to put your own little taste on it and different things like that. So I honestly feel like they're all pretty equally important to do. Personally though, I feel like the hands-on experience is by far the most important, because you're actually out there doing it, and you getting that trial and error. Especially if you know what I'm saying, working by yourself, or you're trying to do this all by yourself, you need that trial and error experience, definitely. Because I don't think you're not gonna shoot no type of production and it goes exactly the way you planned it, like ever. Like if that happens, whoever that happens to watching this episode, if y'all ever plan a video and it goes exactly the way you planned it, please let me know what you did. Please let me know what you did to get your shoot to go as perfect as it did, because out of the 100+ videos that I shot, I've never ever had a video go exactly the way I planned it. So if you can do that, definitely hit me up and share some of that knowledge of how you got that to go about. But yeah, it's definitely a fun thing to do.
Yeah, and you know, speaking of that, I think you've seen my story, but I don't know if you went to the actual video. But I recently, because I shoot music videos on VHS now, but I recently shot a music video for an artist in Gary, Indiana, called The Hopeful Pessimist, and he might end up being signed by me. Hint, hint. But I shot his music video on VHS, and so with a VHS camera, you can get it's right here. You can get a wide angle converter to put on top, and then, you know, it's a fisheye, but it's wide, because usually VHS cameras are fixed lenses. So, and they have a zoom. So in my head, I said, okay, because afterwards it was the last show of the tour, and I'm amped up, and I'm like, after the tour, we're gonna shoot your music video, bro, and everything like that. So everybody was outside. I had the camera, it was already charged. And before we getting ready to shoot, he got his crowd there right next to him. He ready. We got the guy that got the Bluetooth speaker to cut it on. And in my head, I said to myself, I forgot to get the wide angle lens. I left it in the trunk. I'm like, oh, but in my head, I was like, no, we gonna shoot anyway, right? So I planned for this big old wide lens shot for this, but I was like, nah. But you know what? The video ended up becoming better, you know, and end up becoming, because for me, how I shoot video, especially on VHS, is that I shoot them. I don't plan for edit. I have an idea, and then I just see what comes to the idea, what happens in real time. So when I was shooting that, in my head, I seen this big wide angle shot, but actually I'm going around the whole crowd, and I'm going and getting pan shots in him, and it's it looks very weird, but the weirdness is capturing, because I always like to stand out. And so with the fixed lens and me zooming in and out on beat with the lens and then moving the camera at the same time, I got the shots that I got, and it was the best thing. So you never know.
Right. And yeah, that's what I say. Like, I mean, you barely ever gonna shoot a video, man, and it goes exactly the way you planned it. And sometimes not even sometimes, like most of the time when that happened to me, I tend to get even better shots than what I planned. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like an on the fly. How can I make this look good? How can I, you know what I'm saying? And so, just to share an experience of that happening to me, man, it was, I don't even know which one I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna just say, I'm gonna say, let's see. So yeah, so it was I want to say it was the music video I shot for, I think, Rio the Young OG and this guy named Trevor Guini from Benton Harbor. And if y'all don't know who Rio the Young OG is, just look him up on Apple Music. He's, you know, But this specific video, man, I was planning on getting some gimbal shots, and mid shoot, my gimbal died for whatever reason. It was fully charged. I made, you know what I'm saying, it's a pretty big shoot. Rio is a pretty big name. And so I had to make sure I was prepared and all that stuff. But halfway through the shoot, bro, my gimbal died. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? I gotta use this. I gotta get these shots. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. And I could feel myself, you know, start to panic a little bit. Because I wanted this to be perfect. I wanted it to be right. But again, I know that I'm barely ever going to shoot anything that's going to be, you know what I'm saying, perfect. So immediately after I, you know what I'm saying, realized, okay, you still got this, you still like, it's other ways you can get the types of shots that you wanted. And so I did the most simplest thing, yo. I was like, you know what? I'm just pop it on the tripod, get a static shot. And so I popped the camera on the tripod, man, and it felt kind of weird to me because I'm used to being, you know what I'm saying, I shoot handheld most of the time. So either handheld or gimbal because it's a bit easier. But I shoot handheld most of the time. And so just having the camera sitting there on the tripod while I was recording, it felt a little weird to me. And I felt like this, I'm not gonna be able to use the shot. It's simple, it's too simple, it's, you know what I'm saying, it's lame. But when I actually went back to go edit the video, it was my favorite shot.
Oh,
like
wow.
all the other stuff that I shot, I'm like, yeah, them dope too, blah, blah, blah. But this shot here, this static shot, it was the most amazing shot that I've, you know what I'm saying, seen. And I actually started using that static shot way more in like literally every other video that I did. And so it's multiple different things that you can even do with a static shot that a lot of people don't know about. And so what I did, I even took a little bit further in that specific video and took those static shots, right, and made it zoom in and out to make it seem like I was on a slider or some type of, you know what I'm saying, to give it some type of movement. And that just took it to the next level. And I'm like, now if my gimbal wouldn't have died, you wouldn't have been able to get this shot. And the video probably would not be as good, you know what I'm saying? And so like being able to do that on the fly adjustment or being able to make those changes on the fly sometimes is even better than what you plan because it's a in the moment type of decision. It's a, you know what I'm saying, how can I portray this message the best way I can with what I have right now? And sometimes, and that's my motto, right, is authenticity. DG Media Company we are an authentic media company, media production company. And so like authenticity to me, man, is the on the fly, the emotions that come with it, the realness, you know what I'm saying? And so if everything is always planned out, if everything is always is it's supposed to be like this, it gotta be like this, it gotta be like this, it gotta so, right? Sometimes you miss that authenticity. Sometimes you miss, you know what I'm saying, that emotion that's connected to a certain verse or a certain line or a certain dialogue or a certain, you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, like I've watched behind the scenes of movies and different stuff like that. And like a lot of people don't know that actors and stuff, they barely ever follow the script. I mean, they follow the outline, but of course they got to make the character themselves. So it's like that moment right there, that's more like an on the fly type of, you know what I'm saying, change too. And sometimes you get way better performance than you got from what's in the script. The example, one of the best people to ever do it is Mike Epps and Denzel Washington. But Mike Epps in particular, I was watching the behind the scenes of Friday After Next, and it was this one, I guess, dialogue scene, and he was supposed to, I don't know, it wasn't supposed to be as funny as he made it, but he did it on the fly, you know what I'm saying? He was like in the moment, and instead of going directly off the script, he added his own personality, he added his own, you know what I'm saying? And so you can do that in every single role that's with production, whether you're the camera operator, whether you're the director, whether you over the lights, whether you're over the sound, you can still put your own type of, you know what I'm saying, emotion, your own type of on the fly adjustment to it to make it you. Exactly. And I feel like that's the beauty in film and doing this, because you can take 10 different people and have their 10 different styles to create one badass style, or you can take, you know what I'm saying, 8 different locations and create one badass film. So that's what I love about it, bro. Like the authenticity that come along with it is something different.
And the next thing I want to talk about, and it already got built up to this next thing I want to talk about. Clients, okay? We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. Clients. This is the one thing. Now, you know, in the Synch Era podcast, we don't cut no corners. We real, raw, uncut. Okay. Now, I remember a long time ago, especially while I would say when I was a little bit active in doing music videos. I'm not gonna lie, I had a short run in Benton Harbor, doing, you know, music videos. But clients, they tend to do this. Now, this could be for everybody, but I'm just gonna specifically say in this area because this has to be said. Clients, they're gonna jump from director. That's fine, right? That's fine. But you have to respect the director's price, okay? If you can get something a little cheaper for somebody else, that's cool. It's good to use. You can use multiple directors. You can stay with one director, or you can move multiple directors. Nothing wrong with that. That's completely fine. People do it in Hollywood to direct scripts, movies, everything. But if you don't get something your way or your price or your way on how you know you don't like how a director is doing his job, don't go back to the other director and try to put his name or they set name down. Just enjoy the fact you got to work with that director. And at the same time, when the director prices start to go up, this is business. See people, they try to look for a hookup and try to look for a cheaper price or whatever like that, but they don't respect a non-refundable. And it's nothing you taught me to in that same day. Non-refundable, where I get paid. So then if I go to the set and you're not there, I get money for wasting my time. You told me that. Flowers. Don't go to D Guidry, Davy, Lil L, or any other director and say, oh yeah, well, is this better than such and so's, or is it just enjoy the craft and the mindset of that said director. Just enjoy that. Don't go, you know, this is not a shot at anybody, individuals, whatever like that. We real professional over here. What I'm saying, this is even if imagine just this region, imagine other regions, you know, with the same said thing. But appreciate each director point of view on a set video and respect their prices, because they gotta eat. Respect their prices and just enjoy being able to be on set and the director doing their job. You know, that's very important, because you know we all stronger together. And you know, people gonna have their opinions. People might have, you know, certain way somebody shoot this or a certain way somebody shoot that, or certain price, or who have you worked with. Snap that out your head and enjoy. And if you want to use these people's services, DG Media, you know, Davy Digital, whoever, all trade, whoever, just enjoy being part of an era and do as much you can to allow the directors to be able to capture the image that you pursue. Because a lot of times it comes, and this is one of my pet peeves, a lot of times it comes with clients don't even really know what they want. They just want a video. They don't really know what they want. They say, oh yeah, shoot my video. Then I'm like, well, okay, well, it's exactly what we're talking about. Oh no, I just let you do it. I'm like, oh, now I gotta work harder. Oh my goodness. I gotta work harder. But you know, it comes with that. But I'm just saying specifically to all the directors and such as myself, all the directors, we are doing a great job. Great job. And we keep growing. And all the directors have a piece. Each one have a piece that inspires the other. Because like I said before, I giving you flowers so much in this episode to make sure that I remember and say, hey, I remember when this, remember that. Because what a lot of clients don't know, just like what we're talking about, directors drop gems to other directors, other filmmakers.
All the time.
All the time. So
all the time. Yeah, and it's crazy that you bring up clients, man, because that's they play a very big part in our lives as far as doing this. I mean, because that's who we do it for. Unless you know what I'm saying, you do passion projects and passion films, but if you're running a company or running a business, 9 times out of 10 you're doing your work for your clients, right? And so what I tell my clients in particular, and what I tell other directors and videographers and photographers, is respect your work, not respect my price, not respect, you know what I'm saying, the time that goes in it. Well, of course, respect the time, but at the end of the day, it's the work that you respect, right? And so, what a lot of people don't know, and this goes back to what you said about it's a lot that goes into this, right? What a lot of people don't know is it is a lot that go into it. Me in particular, right? I know that it takes at least me per project. Now this is per project. Takes at least 20 hours from start to finish. At least 20 hours from start to finish, from the time that I get the idea, from the time that I get the inquiry to the time that I upload and, you know what I'm saying, and publish the video. It takes at least 20 hours, right? Now, what I always tell my clients, and what I tell people that are inquiring about the videos and have issues with the prices that I say, and even when I'm having conversations, right, I say, imagine you going to work and working for 20 hours for $200, for $150, for $300. You know what I'm saying? And so and on top of that, right, a lot of us that are doing that does this, we don't have a team. This is something that you need a team to do. You know what I'm saying? Because there's at least 20 different roles when doing production. You got one specific person on audio, and then they have an assistant. You have one specific person on camera, and then they have an assistant. And that's only if you're using one camera. Most productions, they use at least 2 cameras. So off bat, that's already 6 people that you got to have on set, including a director, including a producer, including, you see what I'm saying? So it's a team type of thing. And so now you have one person doing 20 different jobs. You see what I'm saying? And so imagine splitting all of this stuff up, right? You got to pay your sound guy, you got to pay your videographer, you got to pay your so-and-so, you got to pay all of these different people to do this work. And you're doing it all yourself, basically. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to get paid for it. So on top of the 20 hours that you're doing, just your time, you also putting in another 10 plus hours with the labor, with the, you know what I'm saying? And so even with that, right? Say I ask $1,000 for a music video. Specifically doing music videos, this is what I've encountered over the years that I've been doing it. If I ask for $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 to shoot the music video, there's a lot that comes with it. I gotta rent equipment, I gotta rent lights. If people be wanting specific effects, right? The red eye effect, for example. You can either do it in camera, right, which is gonna cost money, or you can do it in post-production, which is still going to cost money because you got to have a software to create the effect. You know what I'm saying? You got to take your time out to actually go through frame by frame and track and this and that to do the effect. You see what I'm saying? So all of this stuff costs money, literally from the time you inquire to the time you upload, it costs from time and labor, from renting equipment, from sending the equipment back to paying people to come help on set to, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm asking 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, that money is going one into the actual project. So renting equipment, getting the stuff that we need to actually get the vision that you want. And then of course I have to get paid to pay my bills. I have to be able to get to the shoot. I need gas money. I need to eat. I need to, you know what I'm saying? I'm still a human. This is how I make my money.
Yes.
This is my job. You know what I'm saying? So, and I always tell them, imagine you going to go work 20, 40 plus hours and you getting half the pay that you know what I'm saying, you're expecting to get or that you worked for. That wouldn't sit right to you. You know what I'm saying? And so I always try to make that connection and make that that metaphor and make that known to everybody that I work with and everybody that I talk to as far as being a director or being a content creator, period. And then with the whole non-refundable deposit thing, man, I had to learn that because I dealt with a lot of people starting that just wanted to shoot because of the name, or they seen I was coming up, or they seen, you know what I'm saying? And so again, a lot of my time was wasted. I would go to a video shoot and they show up 30 plus minutes late or show up an hour late, you know what I'm saying? And so if you got 2-3 shoots that day and your first shoot show up an hour late, you're shooting an extra hour late. So that means you're gonna be an extra hour late to your other shoot and then your other shoot. So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, it's a trickle effect. And so I established that non-refundable deposit to ensure that I'm working with serious clients. I'm working with people that take my craft, my time serious. And once I know that you're taking my craft and my time serious, I'm always, and which I was gonna do that regardless, but I'm gonna take your time and your craft serious. You see what I'm saying? So if I ask you for $1,000 for a music video and you put down a $500 non-refundable deposit, you automatically know you're not getting that $500 back. You know what I'm saying? So you either show up or you don't, you know what I'm saying? And so that's just a security thing to make sure your time and your effort and your resources aren't being wasted. So I would suggest everybody put in some type of deposit, some type of, you know what I'm saying, something that's going to secure that their time and their resources aren't being wasted. Because for a very long time, for at least the first 2 to 3 years I start doing this stuff, I wasted a lot of time dealing with not serious people. Which you know, that's so I definitely, I'm glad you actually took that and ran with it, man, because like that even cuts into other things. Like say you know what I'm saying, you gotta say they booked you for one location or 2 locations, and then when you get on set, they want to go run over here, they want to go run this, they want to go do that. That takes time, 1. It takes extra footage, 2, that I didn't account for. I got to get there, so it's extra gas, it's extra travel, you know what I'm saying? So like there's a lot of things that come in with doing this stuff. And so I'll just be trying to drop gems as I learn and as I, you know, go through these different experiences to other people that are doing the same thing and that I wanted to get to the next level. Because like I say, I still have a lot of learning to do. I still am not where I want to be as far as company wise. I feel like I've done all that I could do on the freelance side, on the, you know what I'm saying, on the hobby side. Now it's time to take it to the next level and start doing some bigger and better things. And so as I learn new things, I'm also going to be sharing it to whoever I can share it with.
Yes. And one more thing before we wrap this up, I definitely, and first of all, I just want to say I really appreciate your time, being over here, man.
Thank you for having me on the show, bro.
Yes. And it's this I want to say that we have to appreciate, what we have appreciate what you have before you lose it. And what I mean by is this. I'm not talking about death. I'm talking about this right here. See, Dmyron has been putting in a lot of work and continuing to put in more work for his journey. You can miss out, and I'm saying to all my listeners, not just I'm saying to all my listeners, you know, this is in general. It's important as creatives that we surround ourselves with like-minded people.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Important, because the company you keep can either subtract you or add to you.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, yeah, clientele is cool, but for what I learned, it's about building relationships, because relationships last longer. It's like that chain link and it won't break. It's like with a gold, titanium, all whatever, anium in it. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, this is why I said, I kind of said a little bit about my short run here. I had a little run, you know, making music videos or something, you know, with another guy. I won't say the name, but I was doing some music videos here and there sporadically. And then, you know, as we always run into people, you know, prices, people with prices or whatever like that, or it's not enough, or can you do this, or you can't do this, that, third. I completely said, all right now, I'm cutting the services off and I'm going back to the drawing board.
Mm-hmm.
I shoot music videos on VHS in Northwest Indiana, and I have relationships and like-minded people that people don't understand, that sometimes when people, as you say, are wasting your time or not serious, you're going to go find the serious people somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to find other people that are hungry as you. I would say this, Benton Harbor artists or whoever, city area, all the directors, specifically because our guest today is director Dmyron Guidry, DG Media. Get this man's flowers, take him serious, because one day you're going to need this man for a video one day. So today, I just want to, you know, give you a flower, say I appreciate you, give you just due, have a conversation. Definitely going to have you back again, you know, pretty soon. And I'm looking forward to, you know, seeing great things in your future. And I just want to say thank you for coming on today. And is any last words, anything you want to say, you know, plug up anything, all that, whatever.
For sure. For one, thank you for having me on the show again. It's an extreme honor. Yeah, I mean, I've had other people ask me to do shows and, you know what I'm saying, different stuff like that, and do interviews. But I've never really felt like I was at that level, you know what I'm saying, to do those types of things. So I'm actually gonna double back to some of those people, because it's not about, you know what I'm saying, your stature. It's not about your status. It's about the knowledge and the authenticity that you can provide. And so just to touch a little bit before we go about the clients and the relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
Relationships are extremely important. Of course, you wanna make your money. You know what I'm saying. You want to do all that good stuff, pay your bills, etc., etc. But like you say, surround yourself with like-minded people, because those people that are on the same path and on the same goals and on the same energies and vibrations that you're on are basically aligned up with you. You know what I'm saying? And so they're not gonna waste your time. They're gonna give you ideas. Y'all gonna brainstorm. Y'all gonna, you know what I'm saying, do those types of things. And then on top of that, right, being that y'all are in the same mind space, you automatically know that they're serious about what they're trying to do. They're passionate about what they're trying to do. And so that's how you then start to bring in those emotions and those close relationships and all those other different things, to get that authenticity, to get that holistic experience.
Yes.
In relationships with your clients, with your team, if you're working with a team, with just you and yourself, with the content that you create. That's how you create that content that stands out, because of the relationships and stuff that you build with the people that you're working with as well. So with that being said, man, I thank you again for having me on the show. And I am working on a community called Cineland Media Group. Be on the lookout for it. I actually just created us a Instagram page. If you check out my Instagram at Director D Guidry, there'll be a link to Cineland Media Group. The Cineland Media Group contact is at Cineland Media Group on Instagram as well. And so basically what Cineland Media Group is going to do, it's a community specifically for content creators. So whether you do journalism, whether you do podcasts, whether you do photography, film, anything as far as content creation, we're going to provide that knowledge and that support and that holistic relationship and bridge that gap between, you know, doing it on your own freelance and learning that and getting that support. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. That's coming pretty soon. I want to say Q3 of this year. So around summertime, be on the lookout for that. So yeah.
Nice. All right, NSYNC Air Podcast. You know, it's your boy Lil L, and we out this piece.
Appreciate it. Peace.